question for you.
Okay.
Do you remember when you were putting up all your shelves and art and everything on your in your apartment, and you had the hammer, right?
Yeah.
And you said, well, I told you that the rats were going to come out of the wall. And I said they were the rats from Ratatouille, where they could mobilize themselves, and they're like smart rats. Do you remember the scene in Ratatouille where, like, the opening scene where they're in that old woman's house and they come raining down from the ceiling?
Yeah.
How many do you think there were there?
Probably like 100.
I think it's at least 100. I'm gonna call it 150 to be safe. And so, continuing our conversation, do you think, with whatever's in your room, house, whatever you want to call it right now, do you think you could kill all those rats before they could kill you? And they're the Ratatouille rats, so they're like pretty intelligent, and they're able to like mobilize and complete given tasks.
Where are they coming from? Like, are they just do they just appear, or?
It would be the scene from the movie, so they fall from your ceiling.
I think I can take them out.
And they're gonna fight to the death, so it's not like you kill half of them and then the rest run away. They just keep coming.
Yeah.
They're like zombie swarms.
I feel like the rats, they can nibble all right. I think if I could just bear the nibbling long enough, I would eventually get rid of them all. I wouldn't be undamaged, but I'd persevere.
I think you would. I think we would be quite damaged. Because those rats. Some of those rats were huge.
Yeah. But I had the drill. I've got a hammer.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, I think Crucible would be pretty useless, but.
Oh, I didn't even think about your... Well, yeah, I don't know. You'd probably be too scared.
Yeah, he'd just watch as I'm devoured.
If you had any other dog, you'd be fine.
I would. He'll just be sad about it.
He'd try to pretend to be a rat.
One of them. He'd blend right in.
Try to blend in, yeah. Active camouflage.
I was out walking him the other day, and this guy was walking by us, and he looked at me and was like, "Is that a dog?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's
well,
like,
is it?
Yeah, it is. He's like, "Oh."
I want to know what that guy thought it would be if you said no.
I guess maybe a cat, if not a giant rodent.
That's terrifying. I mean, Cusable looks nothing like a cat, so...
Yeah, he's got the long tail, but that's about it.
That's about it. It'd be like like a rat came from Chernobyl after the radioactive properties of it. Oh, super rat.
Super Ratatouille.
I don't know if I could... I mean, I guess I have some knives in here. For all the rats.
Something.
I think that would be my best bet. Or, like, take my foldable, like, standing desk and just, like, beat them with it.
Yeah.
Just, like, try to crush them.
Something large to crush them all. Might have to sacrifice my IKEA drawer I worked so hard for.
Tip it over on them. Yeah, because I could only stomp and kick so much.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that we've thoroughly been discussing how to mutilate rats...
You know.
Welcome to episode 27 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
Woo woo! My name is Luke. I am one of your hosts, and as always, I have Wolf.
That's me.
No I words. I've officially disbanded all I words.
Whoa! Criminal.
Yep. If you can think of an I word, you're wrong. They don't exist anymore.
We've used them all.
I've officially revoked all I word privileges.
What are we gonna do with the
the
turnet?
You don't need them. And if you saw our most recent, or one of our most recent Twitter posts, you'll know that Rainie is still stuck in the void somewhere.
That's right.
She's lost in space. Not with Microplier, but she wishes.
She's got to face it alone.
Yeah, she wishes she was with him. Don't we all?
She sure does.
But yeah, she'll be back most likely next week.
Yeah.
Assuming she gets out of the void. Last week, if it wasn't clear, we talked about In Space with Markiplier, the one of YouTube Red's newest shows.
Yeah.
With Markiplier.
With Markiplier.
Who else would it be with? What else did we talk about?
Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Oh, right. Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I ask you like it's not right in front of me.
Indeed. It's written down.
My notes aren't right here in front of me. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Great movie.
Sure was.
Good anime, great movie. Good manga, great anime.
Yeah.
Very important distinction. This week we're just gonna be doing a bit of a simpler episode. We're gonna be talking about things that we've been up to, things that we're working on, stuff that we've been watching or have watched.
Yeah.
Just kind of a
couple of mine are just drama I've been dying to talk about.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's essentially like stuff that we want to talk about that we didn't want to devote a whole episode to.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those type of episodes.
I get to know us, get a real good deep look into our psyche.
That's right. As if they're not deep enough already. We've said some stuff on here.
You know.
We'll continue to say it too.
We'll escalate.
So, Wolf, why don't you kick us off?
All right. First things up is the hot new movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the trailers for it back when I went to go see Spider-Man in December, and I was instantly interested. Though the first time I watched the trailer, I didn't know what the movie was called. I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Then they put it on the screen. I thought they were just like words, and not that was the title.
Yeah.
But then I learned after I went and saw, what do you call it? The Jujutsu Kaisen movie. Saw the trailer again. I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. It's out. Still haven't seen it yet, but I gotta see it. I've been hearing great things about it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it, actually, which is not something you often get. In fact, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 97%
wow
rating, and IMDb gave it a 8.9 out of 10.
Wow.
And amazing. Other ones that we don't care about also rated it, but
I know there were
less
other
important ones. Yeah.
That's impressive.
So, I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm definitely, just like you, excited to check it out. I don't really know that much about it other than I saw the trailer and I've heard people ranting and raving about it, but
yeah.
It still remains a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, I know. There's the main lady, Evelyn, and it seems to be some like multiverse stuff going on. There's a thing with the googly eyes.
Yeah.
I think that's all I need to know.
I also know that Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Oh.
Isn't
she like the mom from Malcolm in the Middle?
I was just gonna say that, yeah. Oh, no. She's the mom from Freaky Friday.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I was gonna... she's in other stuff more recently, but I figured you'd know that one.
Yeah.
And then also James Hong is in it, and I've actually talked about James Hong on here before.
Oh.
He's the voice actor of Poe's dad in Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, the goose.
Yeah, he's a very famous voice actor and just actor in general. Really, really excellent guy. Really cool. He was also in Turning Red.
What was he? The dad?
No, not the dad. I can find out. I didn't know Jordan Fisher was in. Yeah, I did. Jordan Fisher. He's a different. Who's Mr. Gao? He was Mr. Gao.
I guess he was just one of the old people.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he was the not a priest, but like the priest guy who did.
Oh yeah, he was the priest guy. He was the one doing the ritual for the Turning Red stuff, for the panda thing. Yeah, that was him. But I've talked about Jordan Fisher on here before too. He was the brother in Until Dawn. Oh no, that's someone else. He was the boyfriend of the mean Asian lady.
The jock. Oh.
Yeah. He was the jock. Not the brother. The brother was Robbie Malek.
Yeah.
Wow. But, yeah, so there's a bunch of other people in, or actors and actresses in Everything Everywhere All at Once, obviously, but I haven't heard of many of them. However, I'm excited to know more about them when I watch the movie.
Indeed. Did you know both of the directors' names are Daniel?
Oh. Double Dan.
Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneert.
That can only bode well.
Exactly.
That's 2 times the Dan.
Yeah. Dan the Dan. Damn, Daniel.
Yeah. Damn. The box office did just under $25 billion.
Wow. That's a big number.
Yeah, obviously very, very good for them. So congrats. We're excited to see it.
Also, finally a win in like the original movie category, not another Marvel smorgasbord.
Oh yeah. Right, yeah, that's a big point. That I think is definitely worth like talking about. That this movie kind of came out of nowhere. It's not like based off of anything as far as I know. It's not a sequel or like a prequel or anything like that. It's its own, like Wolf said, it's an original movie. So
standalone little thing.
A lot of stuff like that doesn't actually get the high acclaim that this one is getting.
Yeah, a lot of them flop, which is a shame because it's like a
lot of them flop even though they're still good.
Yeah.
They can
the good ones flop, and then like the bad ones flop, and then the bad ones everyone points at the bad ones like, oh, look at that, we shouldn't do original content anymore.
Yeah. I would rather, like, everybody try and make more original content, even if it flops, because it's just something different.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to get something good. Not everything can be a winner.
Yeah.
And I just think it's more interesting if we get these different style of things.
Yeah, and it's also like a double standard. Oh, you go. Continue. Finish.
No, I was just going to say, these movies are really unique, and it's exciting to see more of them. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a double standard too, because then when a big Marvel movie flops, they don't go, well, we're not gonna make more Marvel movies. They like, what was it? Eternals kind of flopped.
Yeah, not great.
The movie, still more Marvel movies coming out. They still keep giving them all the money they want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unfortunately, those sort of non-original movies is like franchises like these have. They already have like the user base or whatever.
Yeah, the following, the fandom,
the fan base, the following, the fandom. And a lot of them are like, well, it's a Marvel movie, I gotta watch it. And so Marvel gets boosted stats just because everybody's got to watch them.
Yeah.
Or even just like DC movies. A lot of people were super hit or miss on the new Batman movie, but it's a new superhero movie, gotta watch it.
Yeah. I hear it was pretty good, though.
I've heard mixed things.
I've only seen, like, the TikTok memes for it, and all I've gotten from it is that the Riddler really wanted to fuck Batman. Not explicitly, but...
Well, the Riddler's, like, notorious for having quite the eccentric personality. A bit of a feisty character, that one. He's always been pretty out there.
Wow.
So I haven't watched it yet, but I heard, what's his name, Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Exceeded most people's expectation.
Wow.
So
I bet he feels great about that. Breaking free of Twilight.
Yeah, and Harry Potter.
Is he in Harry Potter?
Yeah, he dies.
Oh, unimportant.
He was in like 2 movies and then he died. Actually, I think he might have only been in 1, really.
Shame.
Yeah, he dies like in his first movie, and then like he gets flashbacks and stuff like that, or like his character gets like a couple like nods and flashbacks before he died and shit.
You think actors get like royalties when they're like they use old footage for flashbacks?
I doubt it. Unless if it's pre-recorded footage from that they've already done, then no. If it's new, if it's flashback of stuff that they have to come in for, then obviously, yeah. They would. Oh, well, I guess that wouldn't really be royalty. They would just get a new paycheck for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. They wouldn't. I don't think if they used some old scene with Robert Pattinson in it and didn't refilm anything, that he would get paid. Maybe. I mean, maybe he would, because they still have to put him in the credits.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know. He would probably get some small, like, flat fee, maybe, but
If they're feeling
I'm
nice.
not really sure. Yeah, exactly. Hollywood's weird anyways, so you never really know. But yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you have seen it, without spoiling, let us know how it is on Twitter and Instagram or the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Let us know what to look forward to or look out for. All right. I guess that one of my turn, huh?
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. So I've been playing the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga recently.
Yeah.
Which is the newest Lego Star Wars game that just came out like a month and a half ago, maybe. And so I played the complete saga, which I played that on PS2, and it was just the 6 movies, no extra content, just the 6 original movies. And it was like one of the earlier Lego games before they started making ones for every franchise. Like the Marvel and Lego City and all, and like Lego Indiana
Batman.
Jones and all the stuff.
I had Lego Indiana
ones.
Jones.
Oh yeah. And so this one is quite a bit different. And there were 2 Lego Star Wars games in between this one and the one that I owned originally. There was the Clone Wars, which I heard wasn't very good Lego game, and then The Force Awakens, which was like the original 6 movies plus just the 7th movie.
Ooh.
So not everything, but it just had a couple extra stuff, and I heard that was okay. But I didn't really play either of them. And so going from this one, which is their like newest Lego game with all the updates from every other Lego game and all the additional content and everything from the old game, where it was like bare bones basics, is such a like weird ride, because I played so much of the old one that I remember like all the levels and like where everything hidden is and all that stuff, and they have changed so much. They have bamboozled me.
All your training,
so
for
it's
nothing.
like, I know, what am I I wasted all my training. They updated most of the levels. Pretty much every level is brand new, to some extent. Some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are a little whack. A lot of it feels like I'm playing an interactive movie.
Oh, interesting.
So they have so many like cutscenes and dialogue like sessions and stuff like that, where it's not like I'm still controlling the characters, but they're playing dialogue from the movies and stuff. And so a lot of it just kind of feels like I'm not really playing a game. I'm playing more like an interactive movie. And so it's a little weird. I don't know if you've had any experience with a game like that.
I played, I don't know what version of Lego Star Wars I played, but I had it on Xbox as a child, and there was pod racing. And Jar Jar Binks was there.
All right, well that's about all you need to know about a Lego game, a Lego Star Wars game.
And those are faded memories, but it definitely felt like there wasn't a whole lot of movie in them, because I couldn't tell you what happens in Star Wars.
Yeah, well, yeah, the complete saga was, first of all, it didn't have any like voice lines. It was what they called mumble mode, where the little Lego figurines just mumble at each other and like make hand gestures. Yeah, they just make hand gestures and throw shit around and stuff. But this one, like, the fucking Lego characters talk. Like, they have the dialogue from the movies and everything.
Weird.
And so it is weird. However, mostly I'm enjoying the game. It's a lot of fun. I like Lego. I like Star Wars. So it's fun to experience. It's just kind of weird. My main gripe with it, though, or not main gripe. My main gripe is that it kind of plays out like a movie. Something I just find weird is that this is called the Skywalker Saga, so it has all 9 movies, all 9 main franchise movies, and then a bunch of characters from other like shows and stuff. Like there's like Star Wars shows and stuff. So like it has characters from The Mandalorian, from the Clone Wars and stuff like that, and this is supposed to be like one of the final closings on the Skywalker original franchise, right? It's the last movie encapsulates everything that the movies did, right? They finished it off and they're moving on to different storylines, right?
Right.
So why would this game not have all the characters that are important? It's got like probably 200 something characters, but wow. There's still tons of characters that are missing.
Are the newest Star Wars characters in there?
Yeah. Like all the like frontline main characters are in there.
Yeah.
And there's tons of side characters. There's tons of like different costumes for all the characters and everything like that. But there's still quite a few characters that aren't even that obscure that just didn't make the cut. And I find that so weird. Like, why not?
Maybe they couldn't get the voice actors.
Well, no, they changed voice actors for other characters. Like, they don't have all the original. In fact, I don't know if anybody is an original voice actor in the game.
Oh, wow.
Like, quite a few of them are different or replaced. Not everybody. Some are, like, still there, but there's quite a few that aren't the original characters.
Weird. Interesting. You think...
And so I'm just curious.
You think Disney would have everyone's, like, right to use their, their appearance?
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe they missed some people.
I don't know that this isn't produced by Disney.
Oh.
It's just like the Lego, I think it's...
Oh, they don't have a video game division anymore, but like, I'm sure they had input.
Oh yeah, well they have to get, like, it's produced by Warner Bros. And Interactive Entertainment.
Ah.
And so they have to obviously get clearance by Disney since they own Star Wars now.
Yeah.
But it just seemed weird that, and later on, after the game came out, they released codes with more characters.
Wow.
But they still don't have, like, why would you not just go ham, right?
Yeah, get them all.
I don't know. Anyways, I'll probably, once I play more of it, I'll probably update everybody and give my final thoughts. But I'm enjoying it, you know. It's hard not... I mostly got it for nostalgia.
Right.
So,
it's been fun. Glitch?
The what? I did. I have. Yeah, so one thing before we move on. I'm surprised you know about that.
I saw it on Twitter.
So, there's... obviously, not every character, but there's tons of different characters that all have different sizes. Big sizes, small sizes, or the standard minifigure size. There's quite a few characters that they have a minifigure, which is basically half the size of a regular one. And if you attack them, they don't have a health bar. They don't, so you can just keep on hitting them over and over and over again. And if you use attack patterns, which are new to this game, to start juggling the miniature, because you can just keep hitting them, you can essentially it's not really flying, but you can get up in the air as far as you want to go. So if there's something, if you need to, you could basically like scale a building and after the final hit, you can jump again. So you can just jump onto the ledge of whatever building you want to get to.
Amazing.
It's... I can't believe they didn't patch that out right away.
It's so amusing. They're just like,
really, it's really stupid. But yeah, I have used it mostly just to get collectibles, which is basically the entire game. If you've ever played a collectible or if you ever played a Lego game, it's basically Collectible the video game.
Wow.
This thing has... So, Kyber bricks alone, the Kyber bricks are kind of like currency to unlock stuff.
Yeah.
There are 1,100, or there's like 1,400 Kyber bricks.
Wow.
In the game. There's... Every level has something called True Jedi, so you have to get a certain amount of studs, and it's basically a progress bar.
I see.
Every level has 3 side quests. Every planet, and there's like 20 planets, has upwards of like 50 to 75 different collectibles.
Jeez.
And that's just like off the top of my head. That's like the bare basic one. I'm sure I know there's more.
It's really stuffing that pinata.
Oh yeah, they wasted all the memory on collectibles. That's why they couldn't fucking get all the characters in.
Mystery solved.
Anyways, it's fun. I got it for nostalgia. If you've played older Lego games, if you like Star Wars, I'd pick it up. It's fun. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. Move on. Last thing. If you bought it, so I bought the digital one, as I do most of my games, just for convenience. But if you bought the physical copy, they included a minifigure exclusive to that purchase.
Wow.
And a card size metal punch out depicts another mini character. I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's like a metal playing card, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyways, the minifigure is selling more than the actual game. Because Lego miniatures are like super collectible.
I see.
And so this thing is selling for like $80 and the game is $60. And then the little metal card that comes with it is selling for like $40 to $50.
Amazing. Worth more than the game.
Talk about like just feeding the scalpers.
Right?
Just, like, buy games. It's like, oh my god.
Here you go.
I just thought that's super
Here's this
weird.
thing we won't offer to anyone else.
Yeah, it's really weird. But enough about that. What do you got for us?
Alright, number 2. It's a personal project of mine I've been working on. Webtoons, if you haven't heard of them, is a mobile webcomics provider type thing, and they're hosting a contest called Call to Action, where you get one episode, basically a chapter, as long as you want, to show a cool fight scene and tell a cool story. I am working on my entry called Violence is Usually the Answer. It is set in a fantasy world where the country has been cast in an eternal night, and the one-shot itself is focused on 2 mages, the ever-unsettling Kyoya and her new traveling partner, Bloom, trying to escape the mage trade, which is basically mage slavery. Yeah, I plan to do like a share about the characters and the details and such on TikTok in the, I guess, weeks leading up to when I finally post it. I've got it mostly written out. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I got flashbacks, cool fight scenes, lots of violence.
Love it.
The two main Kyoya, she is a former huntress, which was like a bow user, but she was cursed from birth to like be unable to use those tools. Like if she touches them, she'll die. So now she's a mage, and in her quest of begrudgingly becoming a mage, she came across what is effectively a tar pit filled with dead gods, and she jumped into it for power, and it didn't give her the power she wanted, but it gave her quite the power.
Oh, wow.
Everything I have planned for the series kind of stems from that.
That sounds pretty cool.
Thanks.
How long is it gonna be, do you know?
Not fully sure. Probably pretty long. So what I've written so far is probably going to be about 4 pages of script. So that's probably it's probably going to be like in the 80 to the 100 panel range. I got a lot to draw.
Yeah. Are you drawing it, or are you also just coloring it?
Colored. Entries are required to be colored.
Gotcha, yeah. That sounds, and I mean, you told me already, but for the sake of talking about it, what did the winners of the contest get?
First prize, you get, I think it was $50,000, and they animate your what you drew, your comic, and you get, and the second prize I think is like $20,000. Third prize, slightly below that, and then 4th through 10th gets like $5,000. And the top 3, additionally, get like essentially a signing deal to make the comic into like the one shot into a full comic on Webtoons, and they'll pay you to do it.
Ah, very cool. Have they done contests like this before?
Yeah, I've done a couple of ones in the last few years. There was one they did for fantasies, there was one they did for romances, and one other one they did for like thrillers / scary stuff. What's it called? Mysteries.
So what's the subject of this one again?
This one's action.
Action.
Which is interesting because that's actually a pretty light drama on the website. There's not a lot of like series where action is their main thing, whether like in the ones they paid for, the signed on ones, or in like the free content like anyone can upload.
Maybe that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Branching into it.
Have you done these sort of contests before?
I've never successfully completed something to enter it. But I've made webcomics. The webcomic Kyoya comes from both the characters, and the scenario was from like a different webcomic I had before called Infinite Nights. And if I win the contest in the top 3, I think I'd do that. At the very least, I'd call it that, Infinite Nights. We'll see if they'll let it happen. Here's this story. By the way, I'd like to do a different story.
Yeah. How many people normally do these things? Do you know? Do they say, or
a lot? Like in the hundreds, I think maybe even thousands range.
Oh wow.
Usually you only see like the big 5, really. Big 5 to 10.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense. Well, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Maybe you'll finish this one.
Hopefully. It's only one episode, so I'm limited.
True, yeah. What does it do?
What do you mean?
Like, when's the contest over?
Oh, that kind of do. Entries open June 1st.
Oh, okay. So you got some time.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yep, and they'll accept entries all through the month of June.
Fair enough. Well, everybody, all the podcast listeners, you got to give Wolf your vibes, your energy, all the positive ones. We don't want any of the negative ones.
Yeah, give me your likes and pluses and scrobbles. Scrobbles. Now, what do you got next?
That sounds really cool. One of my next one, is another anime. Well, I guess not another, but an anime. It's called Kemono Jihen. It was one that I found on my own. I think it was when you were telling me to look up the summer and
winter 2021.
Right, yeah. I think it was during that. I don't actually remember if this is one of them. I think it is.
Yeah.
But I found it. I'm assuming it is because I found it during that time period. I'm just not positive. I don't want to say that this is a winter 21 when it isn't, but
can confirm the best peak season of anime that year.
Okay, yeah. I figured as much, but wasn't sure. So for those that haven't watched it, it's about Kohachi Inumagi, a detective who specializes in the occult, works to help save people from kemono, which are beast spirit-like creatures that I think are stem from Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And which exists alongside humans. And then he, alongside the 3 other main characters who are all kids, Kabane, Akira, and Shiki, they all kind of work as a group of 4 to solve these mysteries and save people from... Not really save people, because they're not all evil, but more so solve the mystery of what these kemono are doing and all that stuff. And there's a bunch of subplots. A couple of them are looking for their parents. One of them, Akira, is looking for for his brother. Kabane is looking for his parents. So on and so forth. And
ragtag group.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that they are all half kemono. So they're all part human, part something else. So Inugami is the he's the like adult detective.
Yeah.
That kind of brings all these characters together. He is half human, just like everybody, and then half Tanuki.
Ah.
Which I believe is like a fox, sort of.
I got more. It looks more like a raccoon.
Or raccoon. Raccoon. Somebody else down here is more like a fox, which I'll get to them in a second.
What do you got? Danzabu is a Tanuki.
Yeah, Danzabu from Smite. Yeah, he's the Tanuki, right. It's funny because when one of Inugami's powers, he can transform into the Tanuki.
Yeah. And
he just looks like a fucking, like, really fluffy, like, Pomeranian dog. It's really funny. And then Kabane, he's kind of like... He's the character that Inugami brings in on the first episode.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, where they bring him in, where Kabane doesn't know anything about this sort of stuff, but gets brought in by an outward entity and then becomes OP, just like Yuji does.
Love to see it.
Yeah, and so he's half ghoul, which in this universe is basically just like a demon.
Yeah.
I don't know if ghoul is just like a translation thing or if that's what they're called, if that's like the most direct reference. Because ghoul.
Eat humans?
What?
Does he eat people?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Why is that a distinctive factor?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a yeah. Continue.
Part of it is that he's wearing a medallion that protects protects himself from like some of the ghoulish features.
Yeah.
And that would be one of them.
Cheated.
Yeah, but ghoul to me is something else. Like I think a lot of Americans would say ghoul is more like a ghost than a demon.
Yeah, like in Scooby-Doo.
Right, exactly. Scooby-Doo Ghoul School.
Yeah! Classic.
Oh, one of the best. And then Akira, he's not really like a beast spirit. He just has ice powers. He's a snow kimono. So he can spawn hail, ice, freeze water, do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Shiki is half human, half arachnid.
Uh-huh.
So is Spider Boy. Basically Spider-Man. Marvel's gonna sue.
Oh, no!
And then Kon and Nowaki are Kitsune, which is like a
classics.
Fox. Yeah. And they all have powers beyond that, but I'm really enjoying it. There's only one season right now, and it's a half core.
Shame.
Is that 12 or is it one core 12?
12. Yeah, one core is 12. 12 to 13.
Okay, so it's a core then. Ranking of Kings spoiled me. I forgot Ranking of Kings is 2 cores.
All your first animes were 24 episodes long.
I know. Jujutsu Kaisen, Ranking of Kings. Yeah. And this is just 1 core, just 12 episodes. But it's really good. My only gripe with it is that the characters themselves are pretty young, and some of the relationships that are starting to form are kind of weird for how young they are. But I also know that's just a cultural difference.
Definitely an anime thing.
Yeah, definitely an anime thing, definitely cultural different, all these sort of things. So it's not really that bad. It's not uncomfortable like that one
Dragon Maid.
Yeah, the Dragon Maid that's literally awful. This one is just wait, aren't you guys super young? But it doesn't it's they're not doing anything bad, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's just it's just a bit of a cultural difference to get used to. But other than that, the show's great. Jokes are funny. The action is really cool. The storyline is pretty decent. I like it.
Love.
And you know me, I'm critical of everything.
Indeed. It's been on my watch list. My friend recommended it to me. And of course it was part of the golden season.
Right, yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I would recommend to it's if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, it's really similar. There's a lot of similarities to it. It's the kimono. You can make comparisons to
Curses.
Oh, curses! I forgot the word. Curses. The techniques that the sorcerers have are all similar to the kimono powers that these guys have. There's a lot of comparison.
Yeah, very shonen. Sounds like.
Yeah, very shonen. Yeah. So if you like that style thing, you'll like this one. It's good. I would recommend.
Woo!
But Wolf, what do you got for us?
Up next, I've got the Cuphead show, but also just kind of a little bit of Netflix in general. I got Cuphead, if you haven't heard of it, was an indie game that really, really made waves when it came out all those years ago.
Sure did.
The creator almost lost his house making it, but it worked out for him, luckily.
Classic.
They got picked up for a show by Netflix, and it finally dropped. The Cuphead show. I watched it all. It's cute, very much aimed at kids. Which, I don't think that's a bad thing. I really like, I especially like, I'm a big cartoon watcher. I'm saying a lot of words very quickly.
Don't worry, I do the same thing.
Big cartoon watcher. And lately, there's been this trend, or I guess, not even lately, just as we moved away from older cartoons. Older cartoons, they were, like, mean, to say the least. Like, Tom and Jerry, they were fucking each other up. Woody Woodpecker and the Coyote and the Roadrunner, etc. But of course now, between fits of outrage and etc., cartoons are really soft these days. The main character is always like a plucky, young, optimistic, golden child with the best intentions, very happy, plucky, etc. But
a non-sinner.
Yeah, the non-sinners. But the Cuphead brothers, Cuphead and Mugman, they're not upstanding citizens. They slack off. They skip out on their chores. They're always fighting with each other. And the humor really, really pulls from like older cartoons. So it's like more explodey, more mean. And I love it.
Oh. So I haven't watched it, and I probably won't. I didn't really like Cuphead the game. It just wasn't my style. I also thought them getting a show was like super weird.
You think so?
I just thought it came out of the blue, and like, to me the story didn't really, like, the Cuphead game didn't really spark to me that, yeah, this could be a TV show, right?
Fair enough.
I didn't get that at all. So
yeah,
I thought it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the show definitely doesn't follow the game's plotline at all.
Yeah.
It just uses the characters in their world and how they would act. I think the like main like push for it having a show is that it was inspired by the old cartoons.
Yeah.
And animation. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you.
Animation wise, they do kinda pull from like the old style, but of course it's still digitally animated. They're definitely still using puppets in some parts. Some parts are really lovely animated. Especially there's like a sequence with the devil. He's got a song he sings, and it actually even references like Tom and Jerry, like a scene where like a cool classic scene where like Tom's like slithering across the floor. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Did you play the original Cuphead?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Did you play Cuphead 2?
Cuphead 2?
There's like Cuphead Dance with the Devil or whatever.
Oh, no, I did not. I didn't get that far. I played the base game about halfway through, and it was too much. I got too mad.
Yeah.
And now I don't have my controller anymore, so now it's unplayable.
So, I'm surprised that the show doesn't emulate what I think Cuphead, the game, did fantastically well, and that it was like all hand-drawn.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious as to, besides time, which is obviously a huge factor, I wonder what other reasons there were for the game not being hand-drawn, because I think that was definitely one of the allures for a lot of people. They liked this style.
Yeah. I think it's a industry thing. It's too expensive.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, video games are definitely not super comparable to like making a show or whatever, but
yeah, definitely.
I am surprised a little bit.
Especially Netflix. Netflix isn't gonna foot that bill,
yeah,
even though they'd foot that bill for other things, which is the other part of my number 3.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The Netflix's low key self destruction recently. Now, if you haven't heard, Netflix recently killed a lot of its animation division, and in its brutal murder of it, a lot of stuff came out about how they were running the animation division, how the decision was made to cut a bunch of shows that were like deep into production. There was like a Bones show based off those old comics coming, and another show based off like a teen fantasy novel, which the name evades me. But like some really good shows that people were looking forward to. You look into like the interviews with the people that were dropped and such, and it's like the way they use their metrics to make all the decisions, but the metrics they're pulling are maybe that they're like the idea. How do I say it? Someone who doesn't know animation sets the standards, and so they're not the right standards.
Yeah, so they're looking at the wrong demographics.
Stuff. They're looking at, like, for example, they had that very controversial comedy special that they paid a lot of money for, and then also they have Avatar, which another live action Avatar, which no one asked for and probably isn't going to be very good. Considering they wanted to make it more dark and sexy.
Yeah, it's definitely has a lot to hold up to.
And then the live action Bebop, Cowboy Bebop, which they also dumped a bunch of money. And you see all these things, and I'm like, and then you cut the animation division as if they were the problem. Yeah. When it's clearly like, yes, people on the internet are talking a bunch about the Avatar show and the controversial comedy special, but they aren't watching it.
What is this comedy special?
I forget his name.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, the Dave Chappelle one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think they did 3 parts of it, and he was paid an exorbitant amount of money for it. And it's like...
I didn't know they canceled a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it was very recent, like last week. And it's just a shame to see them, like, cut all these shows that were most definitely probably really good and were probably going to perform really well because they weren't performing in a very specific way that an AI could reproduce the results they want to see. Was that, I think, and of course their stocks tanked, which is hilarious. They're like, we're going to cut the animation. They're the issue. And then the issue got worse. And then there's their talk of, like, adding commercials.
I was going to say
cracking down on password sharing, as if that's the issue.
Yeah. There's... I follow a Twitter account called...
Forgot it.
Anyways, doesn't matter. But recently I saw screenshots of Netflix basically saying... something to the extent of like, yeah, share your passwords out. You can have up to all these different profiles with different users and stuff like that. It's the Twitter account, This Aged Poorly. And so it's screenshots of Netflix and then their recent posts about cracking down on password sharing and stuff like that. And then how Netflix, another screenshot with Netflix was saying that they're never going to have commercials. And then recently, if you, again, weren't aware, that Netflix has come out saying that they're going to add commercials. Eventually. I don't know if there's a timeline on when, but
I think they're basically already there because they were experimenting with them at least 2 years ago, but you could opt out of the commercials.
Right, yeah. I am not interested in commercials at all. Like I'm paying extra money for an HBO subscription just so I don't have to have commercials.
Yeah, same for my Hulu subscription.
Exactly. Yeah, like I don't want if like simply put, if Netflix gave me the option to have a cheaper subscription with commercials versus a more expensive subscription without commercials, I will pay for the more expensive one.
Yeah.
However, if they just make my current subscription but add commercials, I will leave Netflix very quickly.
Same. I'm not that committed to whatever's on Netflix.
I like it. I like the content enough to pay a little bit more. And when I say a little bit, I mean like $1 or $2 more.
Yeah.
To not have commercials, for the monthly subscription. But I'm not so committed that I will tolerate my current subscription with commercials.
Yeah.
I will leave I will just go to one of the 4 other streaming platforms.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I think
Yeah.
I think this has just been an issue long time coming. On some level, because Netflix has always been the place that it's always been the studio where like you show up with an idea and they'll do it. They'll throw a bunch of money at it, they'll give you however much money you ask for, and they'll do it. Which is cool on one level, but on another it also results in a lot of flops.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely, for as many good things as they have on their platform, they have probably twice as much garbage.
Yeah, also paid a bunch of money for Friends for some reason.
Yeah, bought Friends and lost The Office. Not a good trade. Office much better than Friends. Yeah, so I'm sure we might actually do another discussion or two about Netflix in the coming weeks if things develop with more spicier takes. It's definitely interesting to see the direction they're taking. They also don't need to do this.
Not at all.
Like as far as most people, or at least as far as I'm aware, they could easily continue this. Like they're not hurting for money.
Yeah, they're not. They're like,
they're doing this to make more money.
They looked at the graph and they didn't like increase by 150% because we didn't birth enough people to make more Netflix subscriptions.
Yeah, like they're not hurting for money or subscriptions or whatever. Like they're making plenty of money. So I'm obviously, corporate is stupid and everything like that, so they're obviously going to want more money, but
ridiculous.
I think it will ultimately be a bad decision on their part. Yeah. I think they're going to find that a lot of people that are just not interested in commercials.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty close to getting a YouTube Red subscription just because I'm sick of all the commercials. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Also, it's weird that they keep focusing on password sharing. Like, you make a system where you're allowed to have, like, 5 to 7 profiles. And I feel like a lot of people share passwords. I share passwords with you, you share one with me. But I don't think there's, like, 30 people using one Netflix subscription.
No.
If someone started sharing my password with, like, friends of friends and I didn't know, I'm changing it. And then I get another one. Because then it starts to mess with your viewing experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's, I mean, like you mentioned, we both share our different streaming services with each other and with some other friends and or family or whatever. But, as soon as that gets, like, sent to, like, a third party, that like, they're out. They're like, I'm changing the password, stuff like that.
You've broken the rules.
Right, exactly. And I don't think, and like you said, a lot of these streaming services, for one account can have like 4, 5, 7 different profiles. And so why would they do all this, but then crack down on password sharing?
Right.
Like, it just makes no sense given how you've structured your system.
Yeah, and you have to pay more to have those extra profiles. There's like tiers. You can have either 2, 5, or 7.
Yeah. So for Netflix, at least. Yeah. Some of them are different, but like for Netflix specifically, which is, their thing, why would I have different accounts? Well, the only way I could see it is like for one household, you could have all these different profiles, but that's just not realistic on how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Like nobody realistically, I'm not going to have a different account than like if I'm like with my sister or something, or if like Earl is watching my grandfather, if he's watching my Netflix account, I'm not going to then sign into my own profile just so I don't, mess with his stuff or whatever. It's like, that's just not what it's going to happen. The different profiles are useful for people outside of the houses.
Yeah.
That's where they're being used, and that's how and that's what Netflix should embrace, because that's how they're being used, regardless of what they wanted them to be used for.
And even if you only shared your account with family members only, it's like an American thing that you move out of your parents' house. So,
right.
Of course it's going to be shared across different households. It's like encouraged to leave your home and such.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you make that a good point, though. Like, a lot of, as far as I know, there's like quite a few cultures where the kids, or not, I guess kids at that point, but the children stay within their household.
Yeah.
And they don't like move out. A lot of them stay with their parents, living with their parents. And that's like a common thing in a lot of other cultures. And so Netflix isn't just like US based, they're like worldwide.
Yeah.
And so why would this be a thing,
It's definitely like the same whatever AI metric thing that told them animation was the problem. It's sending out numbers that they don't quite comprehend, or it's sending out percentages that don't look right because it's a robot and it doesn't understand context.
Yeah. Yes, I'm so confused by. And again, there's probably ulterior motives, more money, corporate. I don't want to say greed, but because it's greedy. They have their own expenses and stuff, but like just corporate diagnostics that they're running and different stuff they're looking at. But a lot of these decisions between commercials, password sharings, and the canceling of a lot of different studios and stuff is really confusing to me.
Yeah.
I really want to know where they're going with it all.
Oh, I remembered something else. I know we're getting close to time, but final thing
that's all right.
on the Netflix stuff. Back to the animated divisions. A couple creators that were working with Netflix, since their show were canceled, they are free to talk about it now. And they have mentioned that it was that the Netflix itself was kind of like fucking over the animated shows. Like, they wouldn't advertise them. It was completely on the creators to do the advertisements, but of course they have to ask Netflix for permission to use marketing materials, and then Netflix wouldn't get back to them with the marketing materials. So then no one knows about the show, and they're not allowed to talk about the show because Netflix hasn't approved their things. And I mean, at that point, it's not that the show was bad, it's that you didn't advertise the show.
Yeah. I wonder at how many projects just get thrown by the wayside, or just don't get the proper care that they need because of how many different things Netflix has going on.
Probably tons. There's one thing that came out. I forget its name because it wasn't well advertised. But I saw one single banner for it on a bus stop. And it had apparently been out for months. I'm like, oh, that looks like a cool show. Shame I never heard about it. And then there was also the Michelle and the Machines? The Mitchells and the Machines.
Mitchell versus Machines.
Yeah, Mitchells versus the Machines. That didn't have any advertising either.
It did not, and that was very good. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was a good show, or a good movie.
I didn't even know the Bones adaptation was coming until I heard it was canceled, and I'd have watched that. I loved those comics.
This is something we talked about before with Turning Red, is there's so many, even disregarding if it does well or not, there's so many shows and movies that just get dog shit advertising.
Yeah.
So many, if these streaming services and studios are going to put the amount of money that they're shelling out into the stuff, why would you not also shell out additional money to advertise for it?
Yeah, it's they got a taste of word of mouth advertising from mid 2000s internet, but that doesn't really apply anymore.
Yeah, no. Your word of mouth advertising now is hoping it catches some sort of spark on social media.
Yeah. That's how I actually heard about Turning Red, because I was hearing the controversy and the stupid takes.
And that's how quite a few of these things, like, that's how I knew anything about Turning Red. I mean, you mentioned it, but like that night I saw things about it on Twitter. And so, yeah, it works to some extent, but things like the Cuphead show, I didn't know until it came out.
Yeah.
Other, like, there's been a couple of video games. I didn't know, I mean, the Skywalker Saga, I didn't know it was coming out until 2 weeks when I got an alert from my email about it.
Wow.
And so, like, there's so many different things that I just can't believe that these studios or corporations aren't advertising correctly. It's just like, it's really unfortunate because there's a lot of good ones out that I think get missed by a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, what was that show with the Lin-Miranda, the Hamilton guy, but he was like a monkey?
Oh, yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah, a movie. That was a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
that's the one that was also like not advertised at all, but I hear it was fairly good and also had some pretty
Vivo.
Big names in it. Yeah,
Vivo. I actually I did watch it recently because I was babysitting my cousins and they wanted to watch it. It was very good, actually. And yeah, it had quite a few big names in it. You know, of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda was in it, but a lot of other people too.
Yeah.
Gloria Estefan was in it.
Wow. I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know anybody is. The podcast boils down to me, like, gushing over, like, different casts and voice actors and stuff like that, and Wolf just being like, yeah, no clue who that is.
Who were they again?
I have to give obscure examples like the mom from Freaky Friday. Oh, yeah. Vivo was another one that was actually really good, and again, literally had not even heard of until it was playing on my TV.
Yeah.
And like you said, that cast, like, disregarding anybody else, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a huge name right now.
Yeah.
And you would think that his name alone would warrant some amount of advertising, but apparently not.
Imagine Hamilton dropped and they didn't say a word about it. You just show up to the theater like, oh, we're showing this new musical now. Give it a look.
Well, didn't you say you didn't even know it was like about like the like who the guy was until you started watching it?
That is correct. I did not know who Alexander Hamilton was.
Right,
I knew the other people. Like, I knew Ben Franklin and such. Right? Who the fuck was he?
Yeah, and so, you know, we could spend a whole episode. I mean, we basically did, talking about all these bad advertisements, especially coming from these streaming services.
We did. I had one more drama, but we're over time, so I'll save it for next episode.
Okay, maybe we could probably start with it then.
Yeah.
We did have. I mean, you know us. We have other stuff planned. Well, then we get caught off topic. Our basically second bit ended up being talking about Netflix.
The Netflix segment.
We did have. Where is it? We did have a Reddit's hypothetical planned, but we'll save that for next episode as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish off by a quick question of the week from Rain. And Wolf, do you want to read it?
Yep. If you had to marry the last video game character you played as, would you do it?
It gets worse and worse every time. There was one time where you read it where you were like somewhat close to Rain's voice, and you've completely lost it.
Oh, yeah, it's because I'm so tone deaf.
Yeah. So I'll answer first. If you had to marry the last video character you played as, who would it be? So, no surprise that the last video game I played was the Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. And I actually had to think when we were talking about this question, who the fuck I played as last, because there's like 200 and 300 something characters in this damn game. I believe funnily enough, the last character I played as as Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
Because I'm in the fourth. I'm in A New Hope, the fourth movie. For those of you that are Star Wars fans, I'm currently playing my like side character, or not side character, but secondary character is Ben Kenobi. And so the last character I officially played as was Luke Skywalker. So it's I'll marry him. He's cool. I like Mark Hamill.
You gotta marry the blocky version.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm marrying like life-size Lego Luke. But I like Mark Hamill, who played Luke in the movies. I
see.
So I could just like marry blocky Luke and then be like, "Hey Mark, look at this. Look who I'm married to." I could show Luke Skywalker off to the Luke Skywalker.
You show up to the gala with him at this date, and you're like, "Hey, Mark Hamill, check it out.
Check it out. Look who I got.
The legacy.
I got the legacy." Oh, terrible.
Oh, man.
Well, at least Luke Skywalker's cool. Who would you be marrying?
For me, the last game I played was Elden Ring, so I guess that would be my player character. Who I think its name was Wolfie.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd date it. They're alright.
You think
they're
so?
Rich.
You're like naked character?
Yes. They're like
Incredible.
gray, and so far I've still just got leggings and a bralette on.
Oh,
I think, and then some gauntlets, I think.
Yeah.
All I need is my shield.
Speaking of Elden Ring, not to get off track too much, but have you heard of the memes from Let Me Solo Her?
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, there is a real life person who their in-game character is, the name of that character is Let Me Solo Her. And the character is completely nude except for underwear. It's a male character.
It was like the Jarhead type.
Yeah, he wears, he has 2 katanas, and then he has a jar on his head. And what he does, the player, the actual person, not just the character, but he plays the hardest boss in the game, who I don't remember who it is, unfortunately. Yeah. But he fights the hardest boss and attempts to do it without taking damage.
Oh wow! I don't know that part.
Oh yeah, apparently it's very difficult, as Elden Ring is, but he does it without taking damage, and apparently he's done it many times.
I guess once you do it once, you know how to do it.
Yeah, and the memes, if you're not familiar with them, I would get acquainted because they're really funny.
Alright, so they're great memes, some like really well drawn art, like.
Oh yeah.
Renaissance.
This person got like a fandom like overnight, like instantly, because of how funny it is, and just immediately there's like so many memes about him already.
Fun fact.
Kudos to that guy. He's quality.
My first time encountering it was porn. It was smut. I was like,
oh yeah, well,
what is this?
Lucky you. Was it at least like high quality or?
Oh, it was a very high quality. I'm like looking at it like, was this a NPC? What's going on? And then the rest of the memes came flooding.
Yeah, maybe we can put a few of them in the YouTube episode.
Oh, slide them in.
Just post them up while we're talking about them because they're really funny. I like them quite a bit. So, yeah, we'll try and post a few of them. But so you're saying you would marry your Wolfie as character?
Yeah, they're not too bad.
As is, or would you like want them to be like higher level?
I think they're pretty cool as is. They're smacking stuff. I can summon wolves.
Cool enough. Good enough to be married to.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
And if it doesn't work out, I'll probably perish.
Well, divorce is always an option.
Yeah, divorce or they'll perish from their line of work. They've got gods to kill.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let us know, Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, what the last character you played as in a video game, and if you would marry them.
Yeah.
And if you say no, you're a coward.
That's right.
That's right. If I'm marrying blocky Luke, then you surely can't say no to anybody.
Yeah, lucky me. My last game wasn't FNAF. Stuck a new one in there.
And with that horrible image in my head, Wolf, why don't you take it away?
I'm Wolf, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 27 of You're Ridiculous. If you liked our content, be sure to smack that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, ring the bell, and hit that plus.
Hashtag ring the Dell.
You can follow us on all our social medias, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can check out Lucas at 7 Angry Wasps with an E, and you check me out at Rainbow Does without the W. We post all kinds of fun content and fun interactions that you're missing out on. So, We'll see you all again next week. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.